Prefaces of the Destination of Man by Johann Gottlieb Fichte. Translated by Jane Sinnett. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Larry Wilson. Translator's Preface. The present translation was made several years ago, not then with a view to publication, but for the sake of obtaining a more intimate knowledge of a book that appeared of unusual interest and importance. Its faults, therefore, are at all events not those of haste or carelessness. Those who are acquainted with German philosophical language will, I believe, admit the frequently great difficulty of finding in English strictly corresponding terms. But with all the errors of which I am, or am not, conscious, I have great satisfaction in introducing it to the notice of English readers. It is, as its author has declared, not intended merely for professed students, but for all who are capable of giving it some attention, and who take up a book with some more serious purpose than that of passing more easily an idle hour. The idealism of Fichte differs, as it will be seen, from that of Berkeley, with whose works he was wholly unacquainted; and it will not escape the more critical reader that, as I have already had occasion to notice, (footnote) in an article on Fichte's life in the Foreign Quarterly Review for October 1845, No. 71, he has found it necessary to adopt ultimately as a principle of metaphysical truth that intuitive belief, or, as it is sometimes called, common sense of mankind, which he had rejected at first as the basis even of material reality. To these beliefs, immediate, universal, irresistible, like the voice of the Creator speaking to us, we must, it appears, return, as to an ark of safety, after our longest flights. The opinion that has prevailed so long in England, that German philosophy is a mere metaphysical hocus-pocus or logical card-castle, that the speculations that have occupied the lives of some of the greatest thinkers that ever lived have been always empty and futile and barren of any practical result, is apparently fast giving way to one very different. Such men as Fichte did not, assuredly, devote themselves to babbling a jargon of vain philosophy, like the idle jugglers with words to whom the expression was applied, but believed that they had found truth, to them infinitely precious. We may not be able to view it from the same point. With our best efforts we may fail to see clearly, but we shall surely not improve our chance by shutting our eyes. Those also who have once entered on this path cannot well turn back, but must go on till they reach a resting place. And assuredly they will gain nothing by attempting anything like self-deception, or masquerading in the forms of a bygone time. We may indeed look back with a sort of longing to those earlier ages, when, as it is commonly supposed at least, a tranquil, childlike trust in all which on authority was taught, pervaded all minds, and spread a universal peace o'er land and sea, in place of the restless fermentations and anxious questionings that disturb us now. But whatever we may think of this, it is obvious that we can no more return to the real temper of those times than to the stature of our childhood, and the effort to resume its outward habits will fail as completely as that of the elderly gentleman in Hoffmann's tale who sought to restore the idyllic joys of his infancy, by complimenting himself every Christmas Eve with an assortment of such playthings as delighted him in that happy period. If, however, we have seen that this cannot be, may we not accept it as an assurance that it ought not to be? May we not trust Providence so far as to believe that what is impossible for us is neither necessary nor desirable? A different task perhaps is assigned to us. There are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. London, December 20th, 1845. Preface. Whatever of the recent philosophy is likely to prove serviceable beyond the limits of the schools presented in the order in which it would naturally occur to an unsophisticated understanding, is intended to form the contents of this volume. The elaborate defences made only to meet the artificial objections and extravagances of the learned have been deemed unnecessary here, and whatever
Sample complete. Ready to continue?